I remember being petrified when I was leaving prison. How am I going to come out of the hole that I dug for myself? Is anybody going to be able to forgive me for this stuff? Is anybody going to be able to look at me the same?
My mom drove me to every corner I had ever stood on, every drug spot that I had ever been in, every crack house. And she said to me, you can have this life or you can create a new life for yourself. I had to make a choice.
You wait for the day. You wait, and you're like excited. But then I'm nervous because now I've been away from my children for 2.5 years. They're different. My house foreclosed when I was in prison, so now I don't have a house. So now where do I go? I have to go to the shelter. I felt like I was going into prison with my children because now I'm in this place and I'm anxious and I'm uncomfortable. I don't know what to expect, and now I have my daughter and my son. But then my daughter kept saying, it's not that bad, Ma. We'll just sleep on the bunk bed together. Because in her mind, we're just together.
I feel like a woman now. I'm not a 17-year-old girl out of control, mad at my parents. I'm not that girl anymore. I don't want to get hammered with my friends. I want to have a kid and make dinner and go to sleep at 10.
I think it strengthened my character and made me a better person being in there. Almost nothing that I face now is of the same magnitude as some of the stuff that I've already been through. You know, and if I can put that stuff in perspective and keep it in perspective, you know, I do pretty well in my daily life.
The worst part of my incarceration was that I was incarcerated. Because all I remember asking myself is, how did I get here? What did I do to get me here? And once I was able to figure out what led up to my arrest and being found guilty, was I then able to put my life back together.
I came home, and what I found is that almost every man and woman I knew wanted to know about the experience in as much detail as I wanted to talk about it. I thought that if I wrote about my experience, that people might come away from reading the book with a different idea about what really happens behind the walls of a prisoner.
I'm finally at a place in my life where I've always wanted to be and never thought I could get here. It's something that I dreamed about. I have a great job. I go to school part-time. I travel. I have a dog. My own apartment, which is something that I never had. This year I'm going with 4 girls I was locked up with. You know, we're all doing great. And we're taking a trip to Puerto Rico. We're going to sit on the beach in San Juan and celebrate our freedom.
Being a woman in prison it was hard, it was sad, it was lonely, but I did it. I did it.
I don't even know how to word how awful it is to be a woman in prison. Because of every woman I think of in prison, I think of every kid that's in the world without their mother.
Being a woman in prison doesn't break you and it doesn't define you. You know, you being a woman in prison, you can get educated also in there. It doesn't mean that I always have to state my name is Frances and I'm always a woman from prison.
Being a woman in prison doesn't mean that your life is over. You can still make the necessary changes. You can still come out of it.
Women in prison are misunderstood.
Being a woman in prison is not okay because we are mothers. We need to be at home with our children.
Being a woman in prison is degrading.
A woman in prison she is strong, she is capable, she is me.